Miracle.
Family.
Welcome to the Miracle Family Podcast. We had a very heavy previous episode, so we're going to go back to the original thought that Ines had where she was talking about giving birth. She said, oh, maybe I might give birth like in 10 years' time.
No, but I don't want. It looks scary.
Yeah, so you can go back and listen to that episode if you are interested to figure out more about giving birth. We also shared about our birth stories and also what it was like to give birth to stillborn. So Ines is here with me, Mark's here with me, I'm sarahxmiracle, and we're also on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube if you like. So the question is coming from Ines today, which is...
How do you know when you're ready to be a parent?
Such a loaded question.
We never knew, we just were.
Well, some people say you got to read books, right? You got to go they have these classes that, for first-time parents or even regular other parents, I guess, as well, where teach you to kind of okay, they use a baby doll. This is how you change the nappy. This is how you swaddle the baby.
But that's like baby care, that's not parenting per se.
Yeah, but people go for these things, right? And that's one aspect of being a parent, right? Kind of like the physical taking care of the baby. Then there's once you've gotten past the eat, sleep, and poop stage of the baby's life, where they eat, sleep, and poop, not always in that order, and they start to develop a personality, they start to walk around, they start to touch things because it's all new to them, right?
Talk.
They start to talk, they say things that you said. Right? What prepares you for that? I feel like in a good way and also maybe in a bad way, the journey to parenting is not a one and done.
Actually, the funny thing is that I think most of us have ideas of what parenting should be even before we're parents. I think most of us see our parents and then think about, okay, there's something like I won't do because my parents did it, right?
I will never nag my kids about Chinese.
Surely there are things that you would say that, right?
I will never let my child stay in ballet for 8 years.
Yeah, okay, something like that. My point is...
and then when you become a parent, this is what happened, okay? I'll tell you first. You're going to watch this in 5 years' time, okay? Or 10 years when you're a parent. And you'll discover that you say you'll never do these things. And then one day you find yourself and you're like... I've become like them.
I mean, if you genuinely like it and you want to do ballet for 8 years, do ballet for 8 years. But if you don't like it, if you were like me and you didn't want to do it after the 3-year mark, then okay, don't do it, lol.
But look at you now, you can dance.
Exactly. Okay, anyway, the point is, most of us formulate ideas of what we want to do as parents, even as children. And even Ines, as a teenager, already has ideas of what she might or might not want to do as a parent. Whether or not it's expressed or something that is embedded inside of her, I think a lot of us already have ideas of what we would be like as parents. Or sadly, some people think that because they're such bad parents, then therefore they can't be good parents. And I hope to correct that because none of us are perfect, and so therefore our parents are also not perfect. And it's almost kind of like generations, right, of cycles where they didn't have perfect parents either. So how do we break the cycle to create atmospheres where our children feel like one day they would like to be parents just like us? That kind of model parenting.
You do read about these things, right, where people say, I'm very intentional in being a father or a mother because, I had a bad experience. So it's not always a given just because you had a bad experience with your parents that you don't want to be a parent. But I can, it swings both ways.
If you had the chance, obviously, with a serious boyfriend, even if you're not engaged yet, I think it's good to talk about parenting, as one of the topics with your serious girlfriend or boyfriend. Because,
she's like, what?
Yeah, because you kind of have to figure out is this person going to have a similar view on parenting?
Is he going to be involved in parenting?
Yeah,
or is he going to make you do all of it?
Would he like a big family? Would he like a small family?
No. You give birth to a big family.
Yeah,
don't make me give birth to your big family.
And then how would we find the kind of support, right, for the family? What would we do? Would we hire a helper to help? What would we do? And I think
grandpa and grandma be...
Oh my gosh. Please do not call us grandma and grandpa yet. The point is, start having these conversations even before you're married with this serious boyfriend or girlfriend, because it does help you to get thinking about it.
And later serious, then not so serious, then how?
What do you mean? You won't discuss the kind of thing with a not serious boyfriend? What?
No, if it's serious, but then it doesn't work out, then
Well, then at least it has helped you to articulate some views. in
You
your
know
mind,
what?
right?
I think I will only bring up parenting if I'm engaged.
Why so late?
Because
Engaged
I
means
don't know.
you got the ring already, yeah.
if you like it, then you should have put a ring.
I was thinking about that. I was about to sing it.
Okay.
Why so late? Well, I encourage you to have conversations earlier than being engaged. And I guess after you get married, then that's when you really actually kind of, in a sense, execute some of your plans or the things that you guys talked about, right? Because maybe you were like, okay, we maybe want to have kids maybe after 1 or 2 years.
Or 5. I don't know. Depends.
But I would, yeah, but I would,
Depends if you get married really, really early. You might not want to have kids yet, right? You might be finishing up your studies. You might be doing a master's. Someone might be doing a PhD. I don't know.
but don't wait too long, because I think now the prevalent trend is that I think everybody thinks that, oh, I have to be financially stable. I have to have all these things in place before then I can have
No,
kids.
no. Let me correct that. Financially stable is a given. You must be financially stable. But I think most people think I need to be financially well off, not financially stable. I think if you're not financially stable and you're welcoming a kid, okay, you need help and assistance for sure, right? Not to say that it's totally impossible, but I think the idea that like I needed to have bought my car, my condo, my all of these like luxuries in life before I want to become a parent.
And before that, it's not just the financial part, it's also like career progression. A lot of people feel like, oh, like having a kid, especially like women, but of course men as well. I feel like, I'm not ready to actually settle down and spend time growing a family. So I'm going to focus on my career first. So there's a very me first culture, I think, right now surrounding parenting. And then so everybody waits until their 30s, early 30s to mid 30s, and then the baby doesn't come. Because you're a lot more stressed, you're a lot older. And for women, your fertility starts drastically dropping every year.
Does that mean you're still very fertile? Able to get pregnant right now? You get what I mean?
I mean, maybe.
Check this.
Maybe. But I mean, I'm just saying in general, anecdotally, I do know of like women who they are okay getting like, let's say, the first child, then when they want a second child and they're older, it's a bit more difficult. Or people who can't even, still are trying to conceive in their mid-30s, but they had made a deliberate choice. They had chosen to say that, yeah, I'll be on some kind of birth control for the first like 7-8 years of my married life, or even 5 years of my married life, because I'm married at 30, but I'm still trying to figure my career out. Which, of course, there are many factors, right? I'm
not saying one is better or the other.
Yeah, but
it's always your choice.
in a sense, sometimes if you wait too long, like it might then cause it to feel like it's more difficult in the end. Yeah.
And I'm going to reiterate again for our more woke audience who might disagree. I feel like it's, whether you want to have kids or not and what time or season you have kids, that is, it's not for us to say.
Of course, but what I mean to say is that biology already tells you
yes,
that
I think
technically
it
is more difficult to get pregnant in your 30s and your 20s. So if you are choosing to prioritize your career and whatever, ahead of starting a family, then you need to also not then have that entitled feeling that, okay, the moment I feel now I'm ready to be a parent, I'm going to get a baby. Because actually, you put off your better earlier childbearing years now to the point where you are much less fertile, right? So
sometimes it's also the wait is good because it matures you as a person.
I think it's the other way around, dude. I think it's because we had Ines early. That's why, in a sense, we're more mature than some of our peers. Right? If we didn't have
because you
a
had to become an adult earlier.
Yeah, if we didn't have someone else's life to be responsible for, I think we would have been a lot more self-centered, don't you think?
Maybe. Okay, there is one positive aspect to having kids earlier, which is that you have more energy. For sure. The energy levels I have now versus the energy levels I had when Ines was a baby. Very different. Very different.
Ines, the number one beneficiary of
you had all of our energy and attention, and look at you. You turned out great.
What do you think, Ines, after all of what we've just said?
Basically, I was telling Kara, another friend, in the lift yesterday about how, like, y'all would probably let me date if like there was a guy that I liked and like they started jumping up and down so hard that the lift was shaking, and I was just like, guys, I don't want to die now.
Why?
And
They
they're
got someone to recommend you?
No, they're
Then?
like, oh my God.
The real question is, are your friends dating?
No.
So I mean, you are just saying that you don't want to wait so late. And so would you marry a guy who said that like he didn't want kids until you were 35?
You think I so old want to have kids, is it? No, you so old have kids, is it? Like, sir, no.
Oh my gosh, she thinks 35 is old. I'm 36, that means I'm old.
No, but if you were just having your first child now, I would say that that's
When
quite
your
old.
children think that you are old.
No, I don't think you're old. But I think if you have your first child, like at the age of what you are having.
But there are many people who have their first kids at 33, 34, 35.
Like,
Okay, so how will you know that you're ready to be a mom?
I would not.
After everything we've said, remember, I think the grace is that you are physically ready, right? That means your body produces the necessary genetic material required to make another human. That's one.
I need to
What do you mean? That's
Don't
now
talk
already.
like-
Yeah lah, technically now.
Yeah,
also
but
you
she's not going to be a mom now.
Yes, I know. Okay, she's not, right? Then there is the specific mental maturity, right? Or of a specific level, right? That understands the importance of having another life to take care of and what you need to do in order, and that it requires sacrifice to take care of this life.
Yes. You have to be willing to sacrifice. That is a
Okay,
good point.
sacrifice your sleep,
my sleep.
Your sleep,
Sacrifice.
your time, your money, everything.
your body.
My
Yes.
sleep.
Okay, then there is about parenting, as the child gets older, then the scenarios in which you are forced to learn how to parent change, right? So there's a continual learning process required as well. What Aaron needs versus what Leon needs versus what you need, and how to parent you versus how I parent Leon, how I parent Aaron is very different. Shit, I feel like I'm juggling 3 balls every time. Now we're going to juggle a 4th ball.
True.
Have
Yeah.
fun.
I mean, we can't go deeply to talk about parenting style, so we'll have to keep that for the next episode. But I think Mark summed it up really well. And I think that anyone has the capacity to be a good parent if you are willing to be humble and learn.
Adaptable.
Yeah. And I mean, to also, I think, see other people who have gone ahead of you, right? And ask them for advice. So it's really important to be surrounded by community as well. Other parents who have children just a bit older than you or a bit more older than you that you can, seek advice from and things like that. Well, if that helped you, we hope you will share, subscribe, and like this podcast. This is the Miracle Family. Till next time, we'll see you soon. So like, how do I even?
I'm not giving
How do
birth.
I even know like when I'm ready to be a mom? That kind of thing.
I don't know. Just when it happens.
Yeah. Okay. Record first.